Good morning. Okay, so once I'm out of the shower, I usually just start getting ready. My hair takes kind of a while to dry, so I just wait to do that last. But I do spray it with It's a 10 Miracle Leave-In plus Keratin. So I just spray a little bit of that on the ends usually because my hair tends to get pretty oily at the roots, so I try to stay away from that. So I just spray it and then I just leave it as is for now, and then I start using the supers. So I usually just pick whichever one. We'll start with Super Bounce. Super Bounce is supposed to soften rough skin, so you just go like that. I'm actually running out, so I just ordered some more. Oops, that was a lot. And then you just want to like pat it into your skin like so, and then I'll use Super Pure. Looks like that. I don't have much acne, maybe like my chin a little bit, so I'll put more there. And then again, just kind of pat it because you don't want it to end up on your hands. You want to use most of it on your skin, on your face. So then I'll do Super Glow, which is my favorite if you have to use just one and you don't have much acne or like rough skin, then I would definitely recommend Super Glow. It has vitamin C, so it gives you that glow from within. Alright, so then we're gonna add sunscreen, and as you already know, I like to use Trader Joe's moisturizing face lotion because it has sunscreen in it. So I just put a little bit of that because I'm gonna add more moisturizer after. Neck. Alright, so now I'm going to use Glossier's Priming Moisturizer Rich, and I'm just going to use a little bit and just kind of like pat it in because I really want my face to absorb all of it. My face is pretty dry, so I love to just pile on the moisturizer, but if you have more of an oily face, you can use the regular priming moisturizer. That one works great as well. Alright, so next I'm just gonna wait for this to kind of like dry a little. I'm gonna brush out my hair. I use the wet brush. I'm obsessed with this thing because my hair is really long and it's always tangled, as you can tell already. So this gets the tangles out pretty fast, I would say. So I just brush it from the bottom to the top. I don't know if you guys can see that, but my hair is pretty long. Alright, so I think that about does it. Okay. Alright, so now that this has kind of dried up a little bit, I'm going to go in with the skin tint. It's the Perfecting Skin Tint from Glossier. I use dark. I can get away with using medium, but if you want a little more coverage, then I highly suggest going a shade darker. And I use kind of a lot, as you can tell. This is probably just for like half of my face. And it's amazing because you can just use your fingers for application. Sometimes I use beauty blenders for like if I'm adding foundation, but since I'm not and this is just a quick get ready, I'm just gonna use my fingers. And you just rub it in just like you would your moisturizer. It's very sheer and light, so you can build it up if you want. So next we're gonna use Stretch Concealer in medium. Yeah, looks like this, and it's in medium. Then we're just gonna go in with our finger and just get those dark circles out of here. I use medium because I do like a brighter under eye, but I did order dark because I feel like I could use dark as well for more like dark spots and like red spots. I have a little something that I was picking at yesterday right here, so I'll cover that up. Alright, so once that's nice and set, we're gonna do eyebrows. So for my eyebrows, I tend to not color them in. I usually just use Boy Brow, but I feel like coloring them in today, so we're gonna start off with the Brow Gal pencil. I use the color chocolate. So I'm just going to lightly fill them in. First I'm going to brush them. So I'll just go like this. And brush them upwards and outwards. And then the same to the other eyebrow. Okay. And then I'm just going to lightly give them some shape. So once you fill in this brow, you want to do the same to the other one. So alright, so next I'm going to add boy brow, and I use the color brown. So this is boy brow, and then it looks like this. I kind of like wipe it a little bit so I don't have too much tint. It's not very tinted, it's just you don't want to add a lot. Well, I don't want to. And then you just go like and I love this because it keeps my little curly hairs at the end in place. It's really hard to do it on the camera, so I'm just gonna do it right here. Okay, and then just clean it up a little bit. Like just brush. The hairs in place. Next, we're gonna do, let's do cloud paint. So I'm gonna use Dusk. I use Dusk as like kind of like a contouring blush. So I just put it like here. And then just blend it.
Let's see what the other side.
All right. And then I really love Puff, because it just adds like this brightness to my face that I feel like blushes don't usually do. It does look pretty bright, but once you put it on, it's so easy to blend. It's not that bright. So I put that like in the apples of my cheeks, like this, and then just blend until you get that perfect glow. And the other side. I feel like I always do one side more than the other, but that's fine because you can just go back and add more to the other side if you want. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more here. Alright, so next I'm going to do highlight, and I'm going to use Haloscope and Quartz. This is really easy because you just go like this, like this. And I also like to add it in the inner corners of my eyes. And then just kind of pat it all in. Okay, so now we're going to do the lips. So the lips, I keep it very simple because usually I'm headed to work on a weekday. So I'm going to use Like. It's very light and very pretty and natural. But first I'm going to use Balm.com in Rose because it smells amazing. And I'm just going to go like this. And there you have it. You don't have to use the Balm.com because the Generation G is already very moisturizing, but you can never have too much moisture on your lips. So then I'll add this. Okay, and then if I feel extra, I'm just gonna add some lip gloss. And this is the Glossier lip gloss. It does look pink, it's super cute, but it actually goes on very clear. Reminds me of my middle school days when I used to be obsessed with lip gloss. Okay, and now I'm just gonna finish off by curling my lashes and adding some mascara. Alright, so now we're gonna finish off by using Glossier's Soothing Mist. It's rose water spray. So I love to overdo it with that. Then if I'm really going for that dewy finish, I use NYX's, my bottle's all beat up, but I use NYX's Dewy Finish setting spray. So then I just go. And then we're all set. So that's my face. Okay, now for my hair, I just use Ouai's Wave Spray. And then I just put it, I want you guys to be able to see, so I'm going to lower this a little bit. And I just spray throughout my hair. It smells so good. And then I just kind of tussle it. And it just kind of gives it like a natural wavy look, and it holds it without it being like sticky. Alright, so now we're gonna go get dressed. Welcome to my closet. This is one of many. What should we wear today? This looks cute. Alright, so now that I'm dressed, I'm gonna head to work because I'm running really late, but thanks for watching. Bye!